What do y'all think is like the biggest mistake that men make while having sex? Like, what's the worst thing they do?
One day he decided to deep throat my stiletto.
He asked me to pee in their mouth, probably.
And he tried to kill me. And he went to prison.
2,000 an hour. So for like kinky guys, it's more like 3 or 4.
Danced for a celebrity at the club, and he was super weird. I'll drop names.
Yeah. I had a roommate at the time, but we were so fucked up, like we just forgot.
I'm not depressed. My brain doesn't have the dopamine.
I'm not depressed. I just want to kill myself.
I wanted to start off with how we all met, so I'll let you guys tell the story and how that came about.
We're all basically competing for the same cringe ass like IRL streamer. But it was a lot of fun. I feel like I've known Megan for a little while now. We met through another photographer, Mark Fernandez, but I met you and Raina at the podcast or the YouTube, and that was a lot of fun.
A man in a fedora, like a Hawaiian shirt, and we were just fighting for his love. It was
apparently
a
had
really
a
good
big talk
time.
in a Lamborghini. So
listen, doesn't everyone in Austin? I feel like everyone says that, and like, do they actually? Probably
There's
not.
plenty.
It's just like a Turo and like absolutely nothing. I had a friend one time, and she was like, "Rebecca, I'm telling you, this guy's rich. He has like so much money. Da da da." I was in his garage, and there was like a G-Wagon, like another car. Ends up, I knew a guy that knew him, and he's like, "No, those are Turos. He just rented them, and he'll rent them like when he brings a girl over." I'm like, that's insane.
that's sus.
You can't trust anyone these
kidding me?
days. Like,
Things
look into
guys
that
do.
shit.
I'm gonna need to see your title.
Look up the VIN, the VIN number of shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you need to have one detective friend in your friend group.
Yeah.
Exactly. But speaking of detectives and just people doing crazy shit, let's get into the story that you were telling me before we started.
So I got a call right as we got into the studio, and it was from Warren County, like court, and that I'm originally from Ohio. So there a couple years ago, I was a nanny for this dude, and he tried to kill me. And he went to prison. He's supposed to get like 21 years. He ended up getting 3 years. I think he took a plea deal. Yeah, something happened, you know. But I have like an indefinite restraining order, which is crazy because usually you kind of have to renew them every 3 years or 5 years. But she called me, and I was like, they're supposed to notify me every time he leaves, like Ohio. Like he has to notify the court. That way I know that he's out of state. And then he's also not allowed to be like within 200 miles from me or something like that. And so I'm like, oh God, like dreading this phone call. I pick it up, and she's like, I'm hoping to make your day better. I was like, oh, did he go back to jail?
Right.
But she was like, no, we have some money for you. Apparently he was supposed to pay me restitution. I did not know this. And so I have a good little check that'll probably cover like 2 of my therapy sessions,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
but
At best.
yeah.
That's insane. Well, I'm sorry that happened. That's
That's
crazy.
okay.
And like, I can't believe he got such a short sentence. Like, I feel like things are so
I
fucked up when it comes to like the justice system as a whole.
Like 21 to, I think he was actually looking at more than that. And then they told me that they were going to like offer him 21. And then somehow like a month later it was 3. And I'm like, okay.
What does it even take to get it shortened to that extent after something so crazy? Like
Ratting
how?
people out.
Yeah, especially when you're already like a repeat multiple offender, like
Yeah.
have multiple felonies. Like,
Literally, yeah, that's insane.
but I think, you know, Ohio, like they do, I'm pretty sure they have one of the biggest like jail systems, like a lot of overcrowding. A lot of people get sent to Ohio.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that was what overcrowding, and then whatever he said to get out of
Yeah.
sentence.
Dude, I had an
I
ex
mean,
where like
you're overcrowded. Like, kick somebody out who's in there for drugs.
Right. Like
literally,
weed.
for like a weed
Yeah,
pen.
yeah.
Literally.
A weed
Mhm.
pen.
Literally. No, I had a friend literally go to jail for like a weed pen. I'm like, are you fucking
Right.
joking? Like,
Same.
that's insane.
Well, in Ohio, it just became legal for you to have marijuana. So I'm curious, like, do they let those people out that have been serving
Oh.
sentences?
Damn. They're
Probably
like,
not.
nope, grandfather
Yeah,
didn't say. Like,
exactly.
imagine
Yeah.
that would
Said it
suck
before.
so bad.
Honestly.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, because when they started legalizing it, they didn't start freeing people.
Right.
Because they still have to make money off of them.
So
Yeah.
what did they just like file to go back to court or something
Yeah.
like that, I wonder?
I think because there is like a whole like group of lawyers that go after like those people that have been incarcerated for a long
Kim
time.
Kardashian out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, like literally. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Saving the potheads.
But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the
Crazy.
justice system is kind of fucked. Like I had an ex and he did like some wild shit, like absolutely crazy. And like he is just, he has a lawyer, like literally his mom just gives him like all this, like, and every time he would do something, he would just get away with it. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. I was like, how the fuck, like
Well,
anyone else would be in jail for life.
that is another thing. This guy, his parents had a shit ton of money. He was in a motorcycle gang, like club, like a 1%er club. But his parents were like come from like have a lot of money and they were
That's
like
how it
great
goes,
people.
yeah.
So yeah.
Unfortunately. Well, with that said, moving on to the next, the wildest request on OnlyFans / encounters
Oh
with.
my goodness.
So do all of y'all have one or just
I mean, I have multiple.
Yeah,
Let
I
me
just
pick
started
one.
mine,
should.
but I worked in a strip club, so I've got some
Yeah.
wild
Oh,
stories.
Yeah.
I think like I've got some wilder stories, but I think my weirdest customer was like, he was an armpit sniffer. I told you guys this one. So he had me like, it's not that weird, but it got weirder as time went on. So he would have me like walk around. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't want to like
Of course. So he would have me walk around the strip club in my heels, and he would watch me like get them dirty, right? And then we'd get a room, and he'd want to lick the bottom of my heels. So I had to quit him after one day he decided to deep throat my stiletto.
Wait, but hold on. Okay, like just the heel part or like the
Just
shoe
the
as
heel.
a whole? Okay.
I don't think he
They
could do
open
the
up
whole
I
the
thing.
mean,
snake mouth.
listen, people could like just look. I don't know, but yeah.
Dude, yeah. It grossed me. It was so cringe. I couldn't see him
Huh.
again after that one.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Like,
Oh my god.
how much?
Yeah,
okay,
I
but
get
like,
armpit requests, but
how much does
Pretty
one
sick.
pay to like? What did he give you to do that? He's like, let me deep throat your heel. Like for
I
how
feel
much?
so tacky. But we would do like 2,000 an hour. So for like kinky guys, it's more like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you
I
put
mean,
some pretty good money.
That's good money.
for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Right? Deep throat my
Like, for anyone out
heel.
there, I'm like the DMs are open.
If
people
anyone's
are
listening.
always like, "Oh, like foot fetish guys, like that's so weird." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"All right, but I'm getting paid to sit in a room and have somebody like kiss on my feet, and they're not
Mhm.
trying to grab my ass and titties."
Yeah, that sounds great.
What do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
Well, there's people
bring
that want to
all
get
the
like
foot fetish guys
like
my
beat
way.
on. You know what I mean? And literally, like that's all you gotta do. That's it. And
Yeah.
that's what they
Mhm.
do.
Yeah,
Like,
people
yeah.
have asked me to pee on them.
Mhm.
before.
Or poop on them? Poop in their mouths?
No,
Really?
Yeah.
nobody's asked me to pee in their mouth. Probably like maybe on like Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And get that in the
Yeah.
requests.
I've heard
But
that's like a thing in Dubai. What you were just saying, like people get flown out to
Oh,
just
yeah.
get like shit on.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
dude.
But
So many
I'm-
people
and
have
I-
confirmed like that. They're like, no, I've heard it. I'm like, damn.
No, I'm just terrified of doing it and getting like taken. Like, I would do
God.
it.
Just right
What
after.
is the,
Like,
what is the psychology behind that though? Like wanting to get shit on or like in your mouth? Like
well, I think they want to do it to the person, right? That they fly out, or is it both? Or do they want you to do it to
They
them?
want me to do it to them.
Oh.
And I think a lot of these men are obviously rich and very powerful. And I think it's like the most degrading thing you can think of,
Mhm.
outside of like someone probably fucking your mom, like in front
makes
of you.
sense.
I think
That's probably
I think a lot of kinks like derive from like trauma.
My craziest, well, no, I have so many, but one that was like stands out to me that's the most disgusting that I definitely didn't do was I had an a male XL bully dog that's like 150 pounds. Like, he's a grown man, and once in a while, he'd be in like the background of my lives or whatever. And I had this guy that was like obsessed with seeing women fuck animals. And I probably blocked him like 3 times. He like would get multiple accounts. Like I knew it was him, like the way he talked. And he would just be like, I want you to fuck your dog. And I was like, yeah, bro, I'm not into that. And I'm pretty sure OnlyFans limits that too. Like even if
Yeah.
that
Like,
was a
bestiality
thing.
moment.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's illegal, right? I think.
Probably. I don't
In
know.
most-
I haven't
Yes,
looked into it, but yeah.
Except for like
Yeah.
probably in the Middle East, but
Yeah. Or like middle
It's-
America. Just like fly over states. Like you never know.
Got the cameras, dead ass.
Right. I've had guys like want me to walk them like a dog or pretend they're
Yeah.
a horse. But
I
I've
love
never
that.
had anyone ask me. That's
I
kind of
mean,
fun.
I had a trick that was like that. He was fucking 6'4" and he was just a total weirdo.
would you like ride him like a pony?
No, like he wanted me to peg him, but like that's so like people know I have a strap on, and they
Yeah.
and like some girls are like, "Oh, so you can peg guys?" I'm like, "Ew."
Yeah, I want to
Like,
pay. I want to.
You would have to pay me a lot. I was like, "No, I have that for women."
Exactly. I don't think I could ever peg a man.
My
No.
ex literally asked me to. Like,
Jack wants
like
to.
after a while, it had been like a whole year, like maybe that we were together.
Not his name out loud.
Bleep that
Sorry,
out.
Jack.
Blast. Don't care.
Shit, how much? Okay.
That's fucking funny. I mean, since we're talking, I pegged one of my exes.
I did too. I'm like,
And it doesn't.
unfortunately,
I
yeah.
wouldn't put it past either of you.
Yeah.
But I don't mean that.
But I don't like
mean that as
it.
a bad.
I
thing.
But
didn't
that's the thing is,
enjoy
like,
it.
I didn't want to. I
Yeah.
mean, I
Yeah.
clearly did. But, like, it's literally the middle of the night. We couldn't sleep. We'd been partying, whatever. And he's like, Rebecca, like, I have to admit something. And I knew, bro. Like, every time, like, something was about to happen, like, he would just, like, navigate my little hand. I'm like, I know that you're, like, gonna want this eventually, right? Like,
Yeah.
for me to, like, so. Plus, I also feel like he's, like, lightly gay a little
Yeah.
bit. I feel like most men are, whatever. That's a story for another day.
Little
So.
guy, at least.
We go to a sex shop that's open in the wee hours. We look like fucking crackheads, like literally had not slept, of course, but they probably see worse. And we're going down the aisles. He's like, oh, what do we get? Like acting like he didn't know that he was literally going to go for that.
Right.
So he chooses it and he's like, Rebecca, like, would you like peg me? And I was like, fuck it, why not? Like, life is short. Like, I've been with you
Yeah.
for a while. Like, whatever. Maybe I could like take out my aggression. But I feel like it makes them like less manly. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
like
what I'm saying. Do
I
you
mean,
like
I would
felt
just view
more-
them as a bitch.
Yeah.
I already
Yeah.
did at that point. Like, he was very much like a bitch in my eyes.
Yeah.
At that point. He had done
jeez.
enough. Like, I should have left him long ago.
Like, I
But,
know some of my friends that do it just to have like power over their men,
Mhm.
and they don't see them as bitches, but I would see them as a bitch.
I
would,
don't
for
need that
sure.
power.
I couldn't do it with someone I liked
to
or
make a
cared
man
about still.
squeal pains
He's
me.
like,
I
there's
don't
something
wanna
about
hear-
like
Devin, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I don't want
Oh.
to hear you moan. You
Yeah.
better hold that shit in. Absolutely.
Something also, I have a son, and I feel like if you ever wanted a woman to do that, like it just like grosses me out. I'd be like, please don't
mm-hmm.
be a little bitch, you know?
I know I act like a man, but like inside the bedroom, it's
Yeah.
a different situation. With a man, it's a
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
situation.
I might want to fuck you hard,
Like-
but I don't want to fuck you hard.
Bro, something
Mm.
about a man just like down on all fours, just like literally
And
like
I'm
just wait.
4'11".
Like,
It's
yeah,
all-
face down, just arched.
It's an
Wait,
awful
no.
view.
Wait,
It's
have
an
you rimmed a
awful
guy?
view.
Ever?
No,
No.
wait, no.
Oh,
Have
okay.
you?
Well, yeah, I have. But you know, it's like there's only really two positions, right? It's like him on his back
Yeah.
with his legs in the air, or
Just holding his
or him like. There's only two options.
Yeah, and I don't want to see that at all.
You
Like,
don't.
in
It
that
scars you.
position.
It scars
Exactly.
you.
Like,
We only dated for like
never-
a week after that. And I
Oh.
was like, I can't look at you in the eyes.
Yeah, you can't unsee it. You really can't. Yeah. Damn. Funny enough, that's actually like the one that
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you made him go a little crazy. Crazy for the
Literally.
day.
Yeah, no exaggeration. He's still like wandering around too, like the streets of Austin. Like my friends will see him like
Is he like homeless?
no, he should be. But like I wish
Sounded
nothing but that
homeless.
for him. I truly hope that does happen. I can only wish. But no, we just had a lot of like mutual friends, I guess.
Mhm.
So the other night he walks into a bar and a bunch of my friends are there. And actually my friend that's coming today was like, get the fuck out. Like no one wants you here. Like you have to go. And sure enough, like the bouncers just carried him out and made him
Good.
leave. I was like, as y'all should.
Do you
Yeah.
still have a restraining order on him?
Yeah. mhm.
Good for you.
I wasn't there. Yeah, fuck no. Like, I'm not gonna remove it. He's crazy. Like, actually
Mhm.
psycho. Like, some people, it's like, oh, cute, toxic, whatever. With him, it's like, no, like, he's.
When they ask for, do you want a 2 or 5 year? And he says 2 year.
Yeah, exactly. When you go to court, but at least you get to see each other. I'm like, girl, like, please. I'm like, no, I'm begging. But yeah. What else? There's stories.
oh my God. I get so many jiu-jitsu requests and I fucking hate it. Like,
Oh.
Oh, jujitsu, yeah.
like, yeah, guys will be like, oh, will you like, like take your rash guard off and like ask me to roll, like just cheesy shit like that. But then one time it was just so wild. It was an entire script that this dude wrote out for me. He was like, can you get
Yeah.
like 5 of the guys from B team and like name some of them to like the pros at the gym and like
So does this
make-
guy he's at your gym, you think?
no.
No, he just knows.
Yeah, like it's just like it's like a jiu-jitsu famous gym. So they're like all pretty known, the pros from there. And so they were just like asking me and they were like, "Oh, and yeah, it was like a whole script of like it was a whole
It's the whole
thing."
production.
God.
Yeah, it was a whole thing and I was like, the fact
So
that you even
gangbang.
just you're not even asking and you're just like and a lot of these men have girlfriends and stuff.
Right,
It's like and
right.
it's just weird.
Well, they feel too insecure to ask their own.
As far as encounters, I've had like fans know, obviously. One of the big things with the OnlyFans is a lot of times you don't want to tell people where you are, but you also do want to tell people where you live, because if you have like events where people will come out and support you, or you can make even more money. But it's like for a long time, I didn't let anybody know where I lived. But then when I moved to Austin, I put that in my bio and people started recognizing me and like following me, and they sent me on OnlyFans pictures of me like out.
Oh,
But you don't know who these
no.
people are, right? Like it's not like you put your social security in when you make a OnlyFans,
Right.
so you can't like really report people. But that probably happens. I'm sure there's like a lot people that I don't even know about that are stalking me in some fashion. So
Yeah.
always take a
Jeez.
different route home. You know?
Smart.
For sure.
Has it ever like gone too far? Has anyone approached you or just like
Oh,
shown
yeah.
up at your house or something?
Not at my house that I know of, but once in a while I get really paranoid about my house because of people that are in jail and stuff like that, that I put there. But there'll be like random cars, because my road is like kind of like a dead end road and people like park on it. But sometimes there'll be cars and people just sitting in it. And I'm like, is that someone who followed me home? Like, and it's like they just sit there and stare.
Fucking
It doesn't
terrifying.
help that Instagram changed the like algorithm
Yeah.
to be like people in your area. So
Exactly.
I
Wait,
got
what?
a request.
Yeah.
I got a message on Instagram, and some guy was like, "Oh, I'm I saw you outside walking your dogs when I was taking a phone call. First of all, I don't give a fuck that you were taking a phone call.
This even feeds into when you we were talking about this in Miami, when you message someone, and it could be like a A-list celebrity, but if you're, and it might go to the request folder, but it'll show up at the top of your request folder if you're in the vicinity of the same, like very close to them. So if you see Drake and you message him, you're more likely to be seen if you're like 10 feet away from him versus someone that even like someone with more followers that messages them.
I did not know that. I thought it was just because he said he saw me on his For You page. And then like he saw me walking in the same fucking apartment complex.
They're just making it more accessible for people to die.
Have y'all ever had like literally? I mean, that's fucking. I wonder if you could turn off that feature. Maybe.
I don't think so.
Oh, great!
Like it's part of you sign up for it, you know.
Yeah, a friend just said he was like, I wonder if you like turn off like your location, whatever. But then he was like, then you probably can't like tag locations.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like. If somebody breaks in, I'm just like, all right.
That's another thing with us. Like, I'm not even really worried because
I mean, we're strapped, but like, even aside from that, I'm just like, if you really want to kill me,
if it's my
fine.
time,
I'll allow it.
Yeah,
that's literally me.
Jesus is waiting for me.
At this point, if it's my time,
I'm the person that laughs, and then I feel bad because everybody's like crying.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is fun.
I know. I feel like if it's my time, it just is. What about celebrities? Have y'all ever had like a celebrity send you some crazy shit? Or just,
I've danced for a celebrity at the club, and he was super weird.
Really?
I'll drop names.
Yeah,
it was
hold
on. What the fuck is his name? So he's he's the brother of Julianne Hough.
He's like short, right?
Yes, he's short, and he was just super weird and just like wanted to be handsy, and then like afterwards, like my ex-husband, we were like married at the time, we worked at the same strip club together, and he like told him that he like gave him a bunch of money and stuff, but it was also awkward because like that was like me and my ex-husband's like show, like whatever that fucking dance show.
I was gonna ask, not dance with you.
Well, he was on Dancing with the Stars too, but the other fucking one with Jennifer Lopez, he recognized him before I did. My ex-husband did, and then he like sees me and he was like, oh, can I do a room? So we do like a private room, and it was and then I've had like pro athletes and stuff like that.
Like a lot of like football players and stuff like that.
Not like a lot, because they don't spend like pro athletes. I usually run the other direction.
Yeah, as you should.
Stupid girls will like flock because they're just like, oh, and they'll go home with them for
even
free.
like G League or whatever it is, like this, like, you know, the basketball players who just play like overseas and they're not like on an actual team and stuff like that. Like I've had friends that are like, oh, he's like a basketball player though, he's an athlete. I'm like, no, he's not. He makes like $20K a year and plays in like Germany. You know, like it's not a real thing.
Again, this is why we need the detective friend so we can look up their net worth.
Yeah, literally, 100%.
A lot of athletes, but I don't talk to them. And then like a couple of musicians, like G-Eazy. So normally they don't like hit me in the DMs. Like I'll be around, around celebrities, and then I end up like in cool situations with them. But G-Eazy this is back in like 18 or 19.
It's like still kind of his prime.
Yeah, his prime. And I was there for I forget, it's a group of 3 rappers. It's like Y something, I don't know. But we were like hanging out with them, and then G-Eazy was the main guy. And we were passing him in the hallway, him and his brother. And his brother looks just like him. He's like 2 years older than him. And they both like turned and they're like, who's that? And my girlfriend was like, oh, that's my girl, Megan. And he was like, we'll have her come up to, this to our room after. And so we ended up like hanging out on backstage during his set. And then we went out in the crowd, and then we went when it was over, we went back up to Flo Rida was there, and she was like, "Oh, I love him. Like I'm going to his room," and I was like, I really love him. So, and I was like walking past the room, and I saw G-Eazy in his room, and so I just like walked straight in, and I know the protocol, like put your phone down, don't like. So I put it down and I sit right, and I actually was really nervous, but I just went straight to this couch and I sat down on it, and I didn't even really see who was sitting there, and it was G-Eazy sitting right there, and then he's like, damn, you're confident, and I turned over and I was like,
start sweating,
hyperventilating.
Yeah.
I mean, he was cool, and we just hung out, and we went down to his tour bus, and at one point, like in the back of his tour bus, he had a recording studio, and he was like playing the song that he was working on for me, and then he was like kissing on me and trying to get me to play. And I was like, fuck. So I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. And I went out to my friend. I was like, he's gonna try to fuck me. And she's like, what are you gonna do? And I was like, well, I want to, but also I don't want to because he had just broken up with Halsey at the time. And he was also fucked up. Like he was on drugs. And I was like, he probably fucks a bunch of girls. Like I don't want to catch something.
It's valid.
And then I was also, I think, just about to start my period. So I was like, and she's like, oh fuck, I'll fuck him.
Oh god. She's like, I don't care.
But at that time, like a bunch of groupie girls came on the bus and then they were like kind of all over him. And then I started talking to his brother and then I made out with his brother. And then
A family affair.
Right. Cute. We love that.
and then his brother was like, oh yeah, I'll fly you to the next like stop on the tour. And I was like, cool. Well, we left that night and I looked at like his Instagram page and I saw that he had a girlfriend of like 10 years. And I was like,
They always
do.
Yeah.
Any celebrity I've ever messed with has always had a girlfriend or a wife, and I'm so gullible I don't find out until later.
I know.
It's awful. It makes
Thank
me feel
God
like
I
shit.
found out. I mean, I guess I kissed him, but
I mean, girl.
Some people hide it better than others, but some don't give a fuck. Like they'll have like their
No.
girlfriend in their photos and shit
Yeah.
and still try. Like it's wild.
and I think a lot of girls don't actually
Yeah,
care
'cause-
because
yeah.
they're with him and they're getting money, you know.
Yeah, they're a part of the
Yeah.
lifestyle. They
I mean,
get
I
it.
guess so. But then there's also like some broke ass dudes who just like do it too, and it's like, you know,
Yes.
Yeah.
and crazy
Yeah.
and sad and unfortunate.
That's the
But-
crazy part. How are you going to be broke with multiple women?
Yeah, like pick a struggle. And girls here or anywhere really that like go backstage for like a show or they're like behind a DJ booth and then like they fuck the DJ or like someone like in
Right.
their little group. But it's like you didn't make money off it.
No.
Like you're going home with nothing that you didn't
Yeah.
come out with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what's the purpose of it all? It's kind of crazy. Like I get like I guess it's a cool experience, but like for free.
Right.
Like that's
Yeah.
crazy.
and it's
I
probably
don't know,
trash
like-
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's usually girls that they're not hustlers.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Exactly.
like hustlers, yeah, they might be there, but not for free.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But
But that's the crazy part to me is like, why, if they have so much money, why would you want to fuck on them without any like financial gain?
Exactly.
Mhm.
Like at least take me shopping. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
something.
Minimum.
yeah.
What do you think differentiates that? Why do you think some girls just aren't like that? Do you think they just don't think that way or like
I think it's
why,
because of
you know?
men. I think that men have like told us like prostituting and shit like that is like so bad for your character. Like it marks you, like it marks your character in society. But honestly, like
Which is
Isn't it
crazy because you'll
just
do it
as
for
bad.
free.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
don't they make fun of us whenever we or talk shit whenever we fuck on people for
Right.
free? So it's
Or
like
date bums that don't contribute anything to our lives or bring us
that makes
down.
you a
Girl.
real woman.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like, absolutely the fuck
No,
not.
I
Like
mean,
no, I'm like I'm not your
I had
mother,
some hard
sir.
lessons. Many men that
Mhm.
you know I don't
Love me
know.
some broke men.
I know.
Which is
Just
crazy.
wanna help them and like
You want to love
Girl,
them into
I
like,
was laying at this
success?
man's mom's at his mom's house. Like how
God.
fucking like literally like she's like, oh, I made dinner for y'all. I'm like, okay, thank you. Just like gets off his bed with like crusty sheets, no head. Like I was down so astronomically bad. I
Oh,
can't
I've
even
been
like.
there.
I feel that.
The guy that I
Mhm.
pegged, I didn't realize it was his mom's house
That was
until the next
me
morning.
too. And literally, that was the man who.
It was really bad. I woke up in the morning and I was like, wow, I smell like bacon or something. And he's like dead asleep, like he's not waking up. So I'm like, okay. Like, so I get dressed and I go outside and his mom is like, Layla, we were like middle school boyfriend and girlfriend and then got together again in our 20s. So she was like, Layla, like I haven't seen you in so long. It was pretty cringe.
You just still have
Oh
the strap on. You're like,
my
oh,
God.
shit. Jesus
I got
Christ.
his t-shirt and boxers. It was bad. It was
Damn.
cringe.
I'll like be like, oh, I want to smoke weed, and then 2 hours have gone by and I keep forgetting to get high. I'm like, I could
Like,
never
well,
be addicted to drugs.
yeah,
I
for
forget
sure.
to do them.
This guy should be on Addy, but I'm like, I like to raw dog life a little bit. I've got
No,
my
see,
life
I did that in
Yeah.
high school and I fucking almost failed.
I went off.
I
all
love
my
to sit in my
meds
Me
drug
and
for
section for
college.
5 hours.
Just for
Wonder
funsies.
why the fuck
Yeah,
I'm still here.
just-
I don't need them anymore. I'm cured.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Every once in a while, I think
AKA
I
is in a
can.
manic episode. and
Yeah,
you
no,
can
really.
stare.
Every once in a while, I think I can get off of my Lexapro. I'll get off of it for like a week, and then I'm like, oh, that's why I have to take it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Damn.
That's for
I'm
depression,
like,
right?
Oh, I'm
Depression
so
and
stuck
anxiety.
on that.
And Adderall is my antidepressant because
Yeah.
it's just like I'm not depressed. I just my brain doesn't have the dopamine.
Mm.
I'm not depressed. I just want to kill myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Die.
But it's crazy when you take your Adderall and you're like, oh wow, people just like wake up.
Oh,
with
life
this
has
amount
meaning, bro.
of
Yeah.
dopamine on
Yeah.
the regular for free.
Yeah.
That's
Imagine
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
Like, imagine just like being normal and just having like nothing like off. That would be crazy.
Yeah, no.
Like,
No,
you don't
and
need
then you know how it
Adderall,
is
you
when
don't
you're
need-
like you're like I want to kill myself, and then the next day you start bleeding and you're like, oh,
Mhm.
Or
I
that's, like,
don't
the
want to
day
kill
after,
myself.
right?
Yeah.
Regrettable tattoos that you guys have.
Mm.
Like your worst one that you regret the most.
I
My
mean,
Jesus tattoo.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
Sorry,
Can you show the
I'm-
people, please?
yeah. I'm getting it. Like, I've been getting it removed, but I'm just so.
I love it. I'll zoom in on
It's a
it.
name.
Yeah,
it's a
it's
name.
my
It's a
ex-husband. But
name.
I'm just like so lazy, and then like
Yeah.
I wanted to get it like halfway like lightened, and then like I'll cover it with
Yeah.
something.
I'm trying to convince a man to get my name tattooed on him.
Bro, I have
He
like
did.
I have like
I'm
5 to
really
6
close.
men.
I think
I've
I'm
seen
really
men tattooed on me.
close.
5 to 6 men running around in the continental US with my name on them right now. That's like my
That's
toxic
hot.
trait. Like, right?
Most of
As
my
soon as I meet them,
tattoos
I'm
are
like,
matching with
so
my
how much do you care about me?
Yeah.
Like, mhm.
I always say that like that's my grandpa's name.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
mine
Yeah.
is on my ass cheek.
I mean, mine
It says Jesse's.
That's my grandpa's name.
He made it.
Do you have any regret? 'Cause
Oh
you have-
yeah, a girl. Where do I start? Well, so the British man in question that my tire popped with, we that same night, very same night that we met, got matching cowboy hat tattoos at our ankle. Yeah, I mean, we still talk, like we're cool, whatever. Like I don't mind it. I'm like, because you're British and I'm from Texas, you have to, and we did. I had a letter right here on my hand, but I was strategic that time. I was like, okay, let me get a lowercase. So like if we ever break up, because I knew we would, it was like toxic, I'll make it to a heart. So I
Yeah,
did.
Oh, okay.
God.
Most regrettable are when they're ugly.
Oh, for
when
sure,
they
yeah.
look
I'll
bad.
give you
Well,
someone's name. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to a guy that I met at the AVN actually. He's a tattoo artist in Ohio, and I'm gonna go up there soon and have him like do a little sleeve
what
moment. And
about
carve
That's
it.
another thing I did to one time get a man's attention.
Good, I think near Columbus,
No,
like
I
an hour
never-
out of it.
I don't have any tattoos, but I did have, and this was recent too, so I've not grown, but we were joking about he gets tattoos. I don't have any tattoos. And he's like, oh, well, like if you did, you'd get my name tattooed on you. And I was like, oh, like, don't tempt me. I ordered temporary tattoos off Amazon.
I'm gonna try to find a
And
picture.
I like went to a tattoo parlor, like took pictures of the tattoo parlor like I was going to do it, and then just put the Amazon temporary tattoo like right here. And I was like, I did it.
Oh my god. You're like,
I
babe,
knew a girl
what?
that did
That
that
is
with
amazing.
Barstool Sports, like to try to go viral. Like
Yeah.
she
Like on-
went to a tattoo shop, and then like they made her skin like red around it. They like made it look like she actually got
Yeah.
tatted. and
I
he's
don't
like,
know if he thinks that I still have it because we got in like a huge fight right after that, like that same weekend. So I never
he
like
didn't get
I
your
never
name,
told
yeah.
him it wasn't fake. So I don't know. He might still think
He's like
it's
that poor girl just walking around with that tattoo. Like,
I know.
how is she
like-
doing?
That's hilarious.
The only reason why I regret the little Bible verse tattoo, my little Romans 5:8, is because I don't even remember like what the verse is.
Oh, sorry. Jesus.
I went to a private Christian
You're
university.
like actually atheist.
Oh, yeah.
No. But like I went to a private Christian university thinking it was like the move because that's what my family wanted me to do. So I was like walking with Christ.
I love that.
You could probably look it up.
Yeah.
It's probably on
So
Google.
probably-
I do, and I
It's
always
probably
forget.
it's probably on
It
Google.
clearly
Always desire.
didn't mean that much to me.
Favorite trick or tip that you use in the bedroom to fuck men up?
Oh, you got a hawk to
Oh
my God,
on that thing.
Bro, she's been on
You
like
know
other
what I
people's
mean?
podcasts. She's like making so much. People are like saying she's gonna start an OnlyFans.
Well, okay, wait. I do want to hear the tips though.
Okay. Yeah.
Reverse cowgirl,
Mm.
grab the balls.
I'm really good with my mouth. So like sucking dick is like my forte. And I love when they will do like a when I lay down and I let them skull fuck me. But like you just don't fucking breathe for like, 30 whole seconds and then grab their balls at the same time and then stick out your tongue and be able to like lick the back of their
That's
balls.
impressive if you could do that while
Yeah,
like,
like
that's-
they'll
that's
stick
Megan
it
has a
to
long
you.
tongue.
Damn. That's
I want
impressive.
to marry you.
Every once in a while, I'll bring out the bubbles. I love blowing bubbles.
Ooh. I love also sucking their toes while I reverse cowgirl. Like lean over and suck their toes.
I don't
Bro,
think
I
I
hate
hate
the
the
man
man
who's
whose
toes.
toes.
Hold
I
on,
really
let me
just
check.
know.
It's like tall, you know? But yeah.
He has a pillow.
You like bend their leg up. You're like,
I'm like, that's sorry, fuck. I don't know. An ex where like I never should have, like the one that you know, unfortunately. Like there was one day like where I was hungover and he was like, let's just do like some weird shit. He's like, said he never like peed on you. I'm like, no.
Oh, I had an ex do that.
But the thing is, it was to such an extent and throughout so much time, just throughout this day. I had a roommate at the time, but we were so fucked up, like we just forgot. There was a room next to mine that was like their little workroom, computer room
Mhm.
area. We didn't put down like a sheet, not a tarp, nothing. We go in this little room and there's just like pee everywhere. Like it was not my proudest moment. Like it was a really bad time. So I wouldn't say that's a trick, guys, but just don't do that. Like nobody
My
do
best
that.
friend loves golden showers.
Then we literally
I've
took like
done
a
that.
handle of makers and went and like fucked in the woods. Like it was a moment. Like it was a fucking time to be alive.
I bet
Mhm.
it was romantic.
You know,
I'll tell you
Yeah.
a good ab workout. I suck dick from the back. I like make men sit on my face essentially because like I'll like use my vibrator, so I'm like laying down and then like
Yeah.
I'll come sucking their dick. But like sometimes the next time I'm like, why are my abs hurt?
Another trick I would say is to degrade the shit out of them in bed and like smack them around. Like they honestly
they like
Yeah,
hold them
really
like cradle
No.
their head and like fuck.
Oh
Like
my
when you're riding them and
shit.
just like
As you
fuck them.
should.
It's like only at the strip club that I ever have.
Mm.
It's like dudes like that like me. It's because I'm literally the meanest stripper you've ever met in your life. So
Oh,
I like going through like a whole
As you
erotic
should.
novel.
come on, not you.
Very verbal.
I don't
So-
believe it, dude.
But yeah, guys
Disney.
that I'm fucking no, like they're fucking put me out.
Yeah.
That's a new thing.
I know. I used to be like, hit me with the microwave.
No,
I
but
really
I've been
wanna be,
like
like,
knocked out.
Um,
Like literally, like I've gone like unconscious.
Oh, yeah.
From being
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
literally.
I got a black eye one time. Yeah.
I
But,
remember
like, you know,
I
Yeah.
told an ex, I was like, hit me. And he like didn't want to, but it like, what would you expect? Like hit me in the face or like, right? He like paused. I could like
He's
feel him
thinking.
like,
It's like,
kind
am
of
I gonna go to
thinking about
jail?
it. He takes like a closed fist and you just hear, oh, like right in my rib cage. And
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
like swallow. And I was like, in the face.
Oh,
Just
my
a
stream
swallow.
fight?
Oh
Like,
my
what
God.
the fuck?
What?
I'll go through. I won't be playing just because they already know my life. So I'll let you guys just do that. How do you? Is it you put a finger
You put-
down or
Put
what?
all up, and
Mhm.
then if it's something you did do, we're gonna do 10 though.
10.
Because there's a
Rebecca,
lot
just
of
play.
topics.
Girl, okay. I mean, I will.
Alright.
Like, I don't know if I can multitask.
I'm ready.
To hear this segment, go to patreon.com/y'alternativepod.
Real quick, what do y'all think is like the biggest mistake that men make, like while having sex? Like, what's the worst thing they do that you wish they wouldn't?
To hear this segment, go to patreon.com/y'alternativepod.
One.
On up, so-
Yay, congrats. We learned a lot today.
Thank you for having us.
And now we're going to go to Boa. Love you guys so much. Remember to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.